It was while he was analyzing and training with Jung in 1933-34 that the young Neumann conceived of writing a work in 3 parts about the origins, the psychological identity, and the modern experience of Jews. And once he had settled in Tel Aviv, he really began to research and write. Part 1 on Jewish antiquity and the problem of revelation was finished in 1940. Part 2 on the psychological meaning of Hasidism was written between, well, he started rough drafts in 1935 and finished it probably in the spring of 1945. I'll say more about that timing in a moment. Unfortunately, except for a lecture he wrote that pointed toward part 3, he never wrote that intended 3rd part about modern Jewish experience. There's a Neumann family story that at some point after the war, Gershom Scholem told Neumann that he shouldn't publish his Jewish work because it leaned too heavily on Buber. Now there's a backstory about Buber and Scholem. They didn't like each other very much. Scholem is probably a familiar name to most people listening. His enormous work, tremendous groundbreaking work, Major Trends in Jewish Mysticism, didn't come out in time for Neumann to really incorporate any of it into this book that he wrote. He was still working on part 2 of his Jewish work about the psychological meaning of Hasidism. His letter to Jung, dated 1 October 1945, contains a statement which I think helps us know when that part was finished. The Jewish problem and the work on it ended for me at exactly the time when it became conspicuous in the world in an indescribably gruesome way. And I put the German original up on the page because I want to underline one word in that sentence, augenfällig. Conspicuous, literally it means falling on the eyes, or as the French would say, ça saute aux yeux. While Neumann was writing his work on Hasidism, the plight of European Jews was growing steadily more appalling, but the truth about it was not yet widely exposed. The true situation became unmistakable, augenfällig, to the whole world when the death camps were liberated. Neumann seems to be saying that he finished his work on the Jewish problem around the time when the first horrifying photographs of the camps were published. My translation, by the way, is slightly different from the one that was published in the Jung-Neumann correspondence. There, the word augenfällig was translated palpable, and to me that speaks to a different physical sense, the sense of touch, whereas in the German, it's really about what you see.
Mystical Men and Neumann's book, The Origins of Consciousness, were written almost in the same years, and there is a connection between both of them. In Origins, we find the following paragraph, which refers, I believe, also to the Hasidim manuscript. And I cite, "Just how powerful these archetypal images of the psychic are can be seen from the Kabbalah more clearly than from any other cultural phenomenon," end quote. And Neumann then cites from the Lurianic Kabbalah. But man is not the only end purpose of creation, nor is his dominion limited to this world alone, but on him depends the perfection of the higher world and of God himself. And as we shall see, the anthropocentricity of the Kabbalah and the belief in the mutual relationship between God and the human being, as depicted by Hasidism, is the main focus of Neumann's Hasidism manuscript and is at the basis of Neumann's Mystical Men. As you, Anne, related before, Neumann did not try to publish the manuscript, but it is wrong to surmise that when he put away the manuscript in his drawer and stopped teaching his seminars on Judaism, Neumann also put away his reflections on the connection between analytical psychology and Hasidism. The same ideas and even entire passages from that manuscript appear, though further developed and expanded, in the Eranos essays, which he began writing in 1948, as well as in Depth Psychology and the New Ethic. Moreover, his insights into Hasidism complement and connect with his meta-psychology.